Yeah, so I don't have the fancy setup like our good friend Network Chuck does, but we can still brew some coffee, right? I mean, it's a nice fancy cup and everything, and I don't know, coffee's not really my thing, so check it out. Oh my God, how do you guys drink this stuff? This is terrible. Ugh. Cut. Ah, we gotta make this better. Nothing better than some high quality H2O. Yo, what's going on YouTube? Zach with IT Career Questions. So, the truth is, I do drink coffee. I enjoy it, but I spice it up because I don't like plain coffee. I'm not a big fancy coffee drinker by any means, like Mr. Network Chuck. I do like my occasional, cup of coffee every single morning because that's my morning routine. That's what today's video is about. Routine. What's your routine? Let's talk about that. So something that really helps in the world of IT, in the world of just learning, maybe you're trying to get into this field of IT, is starting a routine. And it doesn't really matter where you start, it's trying to figure out what works best for you. And this is all trial and error, folks. Like there's no set in stone method, this is going to work for you. Everybody's different, right? I'm different, you're different, we're all different. I like my cheap coffee from my Keurig. Network Chuck loves his expensive coffee from his expensive coffee makers. I don't know if they're even that expensive, but it seems like a lot of work, right? But that's his routine, that's what he likes. This is what I like, this is my routine. Every morning, I bust out the Keurig, make a cup of coffee, and I start my day. Now what happens next is another part of my routine. But before the cup of coffee even starts, before the rest of my routine even starts, I have a family, and every single day we have to get the kids ready, we have to get the kids out the door, ready for school, lunch is made, all that fun stuff, and that's part of a routine that's just kind of set in stone. There's really not much movement there. There's not much that can be changed with that method. It's pretty set in stone. This is how it goes every single day. Kids have to be at school on this time, and we have to wake up at this time to be ready to leave by, this time to have them on school on time. So when I get home from dropping all the kids off, I make my cup of coffee because in the morning it's really hectic here. It's insane. So I don't have time to enjoy my cup of coffee. So after that, I start my routine, which is getting into the things that I need to do for the day. This routine, again, can be different for you guys. You could be in school, so you're going off to school, you're going off to work. For me, this is what I do. I'm doing the YouTubes, right? And there's a lot involved there. So my routine is I have to check my email, I have to make sure I'm in contact with all the different companies that I'm working with. I try to stay in contact with a lot of the different people who come from YouTube. So I try to leave comments back on a lot of the videos that I can if possible. I'm commenting back on LinkedIn, on Facebook. Any resource that's out there that I have made myself available to, I try to take that first, half hour of my day to reach back out to these contacts that I have. And then after that, then is really when my routine kind of kicks into gear because I have to start researching, I have to start developing, and that's kind of a process. And that really has taken me a long time to fine tune. And what's important about this is, and what the value that you guys are going to get out of this is, if you guys are trying to study for certifications, much like I am, you have to figure out how some of these things work into your routine. How can you fit studying into your daily routine? Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes you think, okay, I'm going to set this hour aside on Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Thursdays. And then Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays come up and it, all hell breaks loose, right? Nothing happens because life gets in the way, right? Your routine isn't set in stone. Things come up. That stuff happens, right? Things do come up and things happen. That's okay. However, when you can sit down, figure out your schedule, and look at the things that you have coming up and understand where you have time. Now, even if you only have 20 minutes, and you may think, well, I only have 20 minutes. That's not enough time to study. You're wrong. I mean, honestly, you're wrong. 20 minutes of studying is better than 0 minutes of studying. And that's what I am encountering now as I'm going through my Security Plus studying. You know, my life is hectic. And with my routine that I have on a day-to-day basis, it's hard to fit in studying sometimes. It really, really is. And you would think that, well, since I'm doing this all day, like I could fit that into my daily routine, but I can't. I really can't. You know, there's a lot involved with what I'm doing here on YouTube, and it's hard. It really is. So I wrote down a calendar, essentially. Like, these are the things that I have coming up. These are the different time areas within each day that I have 10, 20, 30 minutes of free time that I can dedicate to going through a lesson or part of a lesson just to get some of the knowledge. Now, here's the other key thing about this is when I'm driving my car, when I'm taking my kids to school, when I'm going to the store, a lot of times I'm putting on videos that directly relate to what I'm studying. So Security Plus, I'll throw on a Professor Messer video and I'm listening to that in the background. Now, these are just some things that you guys can do to help improve, you know, your studying. Because that's really what this is about. That's what this video is about, is to help you guys improve yourself, make that time for studying. Because I've seen a lot of people comment and say, I don't know how to make the time. I don't have the time to do this. I just can't do it. But any time is better than no time. If you keep telling yourself, I just don't have the time, I can't see where I will have the time to do it, then you're not going to do it. You have to make the time. You have to decide mentally, physically, that you can put whatever amount of time aside to study. Again, whether it's 10, 20, 30 minutes, I don't care. You set the time aside and you get to studying, get to labbing, whatever the case is. So again, my day-to-day routine, I'm taking the kids off to school, I'm coming home, getting my coffee made, I'm doing all of my work throughout the day that relates to this YouTube stuff, right? But there's breaks I get through the day. Like, there's times where, like, I just need 20 minutes. I just need to step aside for 20 minutes. And I decided that, you know, instead of stepping aside from my work, right? Because sometimes it gets stressful. Sometimes things come up and it just makes me angry and I have to walk away. Well, I walk away for 20 minutes and what do? I do nothing. I sit on my phone and I browse on Facebook or LinkedIn or whatever. That gets me nowhere. So I decided I would step away and take that time and just pull up some of my study material, because that's the only way that I'm really going to get as much value as I can trying to get all of the studying in that I can. Now, the other thing that I do that might be on the less healthy option here is I stay up late at night, because late at night, especially when you have kids, that's the only time you have quiet time. That is the only time. So you stay up an extra half an hour or an hour later than you normally would. But that's the dedication that you have to take to achieve something better in your life. So that's what I do. And these are the things that I can tell you and encourage you guys to do. And just kind of giving you guys an idea and a little bit of motivation that you guys can do it too. You guys can create the time. You guys can make time and do it. And I wish you guys the best of luck. And here's to you.